G'day YouTubers. After last week's fishing trip that wasn't, I decided I'd take it easy this week, do a nice easy trip, try and make sure the wife's okay with the boat again, just get some confidence back for her. I decided I'd do some trolling because that keeps the boat in motion, that's what the wife likes most. I hadn't trolled with a trolling board before, never tried that, and been reading a bit about the mackerel in the bay between the Hybers Beak and Green Island Harry Atkinson's for the last couple of weeks, so I thought I'd get out there and give that a go. Watched the weather for over a week beforehand. Weather prediction for the weekend was really good, until Saturday morning of course, and then the weather prediction was fine for me but not so good for the wife. Anyway, we decided to go down and it rained on the way down. We're sort of 3/4 of the way there. It's a bit of a trip from where we live, so we decided we'd go down to the water's edge and consider the situation once we got there. And that was a good decision because when we got there, I saw some blue sky up to the northeast. Wind was coming out of that direction, so I knew it was going to clear up, and we didn't see any more rain at all for the whole day. It turned out to be a really nice day. When the weather turned out to be so good, I decided that I'd try a little bit of bait fishing on some of the old grounds that I hadn't fished for, 30 years maybe. Thought I'd see how they went. I was pretty impressed with the shows on the sounder. I got a few good bites, but I was trying some new gear. I'd been hearing about circle hooks on YouTube and how great they were, so I thought I'd give the circle hooks a go. Most disappointed. Now, I understand how they work, I saw all the YouTube videos, but they just didn't work for me. Couldn't seem to get the drag right to let them run. When the weight went on the line, I thought, oh yeah, okay, they followed it, tried to reel it back, you could actually feel it pull out of their mouth. I won't be using circle hooks again. I didn't manage to catch anything. I didn't have any conventional hook with me because, I was trying circle hooks, as they were supposed to be so good. Just not for me. Despite my lack of success with the circle hooks, the sounder did show so much promise in this area that I'll certainly be coming back to try these spots again with better hooks, of course. And I think I'll probably wait until I've got the Minn Kota mount back on my new bait, because the way the fish were holding in the structure, having the spot lock and the jog feature will be a real boon to getting on the spot so I can drop the line down on top of them. Now, since we kept the windscreen section of the Bimini open, the air came through, my wife didn't get sick at all, and in fact she slept through the entire drift fishing episode. My wife decided she'd lay down on the bunk and do some reading while I was fishing. She laid down there and promptly fell asleep. Wake up when I decided the circle hooks were a waste of time and I was going to go and do some trolling, which was very good timing because while I was getting the trolling rig ready, he made us some coffee, and that's always appreciated. As I said at the beginning, I've never used a trolling board before. I've only got the YouTube videos to go by. I've read up on it as well on some of the articles in the fishing magazines. It seemed pretty easy from what they said. Yeah, unfortunately reality doesn't often reflect the expectations. Turned out that there's a lot more to it than I had imagined, and I had a bit of trouble. Didn't work out at all, didn't catch anything. Didn't see anything on the sounder either, so maybe there's nothing there to catch, but I did have some problems with the rig. Now, I don't think you'll pick up on what's going wrong just from the video, but I'll try and explain it, and hopefully you'll sort of understand. Might help someone in the future, and maybe someone can help me in the comments figure it out. So I let the lure out, I let the board out, and I let about 20 odd metres of line out. All up, the thing's good 30 metres behind the boat, the lure, probably 100 feet behind the boat. I thought that was far enough. It seemed to be running nice and deep most of the time. Every now and then the rod would release all the tension and then it would go back on. I think what was happening was the board was rotating and it'd go upside down. It'd come up to the surface, all the tension would go off the line, the rod would straighten, then it'd rotate around and dive down again. Pretty sure that's not what you want to happen. I'm just not sure why it was happening though. Something's wrong with my rig. I've got to experiment a bit more. It wasn't working. I tried a couple of different holes to see if that made a difference. but it didn't, so I'm sort of going to research it a bit and try again next time. I just mentioned that I did have a couple of swivels on the line between the board and the lure, and there was also a couple of swivels between the board and the rod, so it shouldn't have been a problem with line twist. I have to say that this trolling for mackerel with a trolling board isn't as easy as throwing lures after mackerel when you see the birds feeding. A whole different ball game. Years ago when I first started fishing for mackerel, I just talked to a few blokes. They said go and look for the birds, throw some lures and you'll get some mackerel, and they were dead right. That was as easy as that. Just went out, headed out towards Moreton, went along the shipping channel, saw the birds feeding, threw some lures out in amongst it, and always came home with a feed. No experimentation, no mucking around. It was just so easy. But this trolling board system is a whole different ball game. There's a bit of learning behind this, a lot more finesse, and it's going to take a little while to get it right, I think. Right at the moment, I'm thinking that if I work really, really hard for the next 11 months, I might actually be able to catch the fish next season. I spent the rest of the day prospecting around some of the areas I used to fish many years ago, see what they're like now, finding structure, and most importantly, experimenting with the sounder, because I'm still not entirely happy with the picture that I'm getting. I think it could be better. It loses the bottom at a lower speed than I'd like. I think the reed at speed should be a bit better than it is. I know it's not a chirp sounder and I can expect to lose the bottom at a lower speed, but I still think I can do a bit better. So really experimenting, coming to terms with it, working out what I might be able to do to improve it, and yeah, that takes a lot of time on the water to do that. But you know what they say, any time on the water is better than time at work, so it's not wasted, it's all enjoyed. And that about covers what we did for the day. It was a very valuable trip. I learned a lot, mostly about what not to do with the trolling board. I learned a bit about the sounder, and I need to adjust it some more, try and get some better results. Need to look at the noise in the electricals, as well as the positioning of the sounder transducer itself. And I rediscovered some old areas I used to fish that most definitely look like they're worth another go, so I'll be going back and trying them at some point in the future. I think the most valuable thing about the whole trip was that it wasn't all that calm. The wind came up after lunch and it got a bit choppy, but it was a bit rolly the whole time we were out there. And because we kept the front windscreen of the Bimini open and had some air play through the cabin, my wife didn't get sick at all, so that's proved the theory that the last time out it was in fact swirling the exhaust gases back through the cabin that made her sick. So she's got the confidence to go out again and know that she won't get sick. And even if there's nothing else to come out of the day, that alone would have made it worthwhile. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. I know there wasn't a lot of fishing action there. You might have learnt what not to do with the trolling board. You might get some ideas about where you can fish just by looking at the track that I followed and having a bit of a prospect around yourself. If you'd like to see more of my videos, you can go to my YouTube channel. If you've got any suggestions about improving the trolling board, how that might work, what I might have done wrong, please leave them in the comments, because I am still experimenting with this. I've got no idea what I'm doing wrong. I'm just going to try different things until I get it right. So, until next time, good fishing.